I'm Jacob.
I'm Yuri.
And we're going for a drive.
'20 Shelby GT350R.
1965 Shelby GT350.
So we should probably rip them, eh?
Oh my God!
These are insane, and they are an accurate representation of each other 55 years later. Let's get to the horsepower and torque.
Holy crap, Yuri! 526 horsepower, 429 pound-feet of torque from that 5.2-liter flat plane crank V8 in your car. And I have 306 horsepower from a 289 cubic inch or a 4.7-liter V8.
So we should probably find out which one sounds better. So first me and the newer one with the flat plane crank and the red line of 8200.
Send it.
Literally the most amazing new car sound.
While that did sound pretty good, let's listen to the song of the 1965 V8 people. Oh my God! Woo! Totally different tone, not as high pitched, just very manly.
I'm gonna have to give them a tie, I think.
I didn't expect this to sound as good as it does, but with these side pipes on this GT350, my God. So let's get into why these cars exist in the first place. They're both Shelbys. Shelby tuned this 1965 because Ford wanted them to actually win some races, and that's the reason that one exists.
Yeah, and if you want to know more information, check out the Legendary Motorcar channel on YouTube. Gary goes over a whole bunch of stuff on that exact model.
And they have a whole bunch of other Mustangs in their showrooms. They got a ton of Fords. Definitely check them out. And we got that brand new GT350 from Young Steel's Ford Lincoln. And they have a crazy showroom as well.
And they've got a ton of other Fords too, like a ton of Broncos, but they also have a Heritage Edition GT350 that is matching those stripes and that color perfectly in their private collection.
And it's really cool that we actually have the R version from Young Steel's because this was homologated as a race car. The only reason that this exists is because they had to have a road-going version. And there was 25 of these in 1965 that were actually R's as well.
You know what? I kind of want to talk about the price of these because this one right now is about $150,000 Canadian. You can't buy them brand new anymore because they don't exist. How about that old one?
Well, it's an older car, and everybody knows older cars get cheaper over time, right? No, not this one. This is approximately $400,000 to $500,000 US dollars right now at Legendary Motorcar. So these are Mustangs, and they definitely do Mustang things. And Yuri, let's do some Mustang things with some downshifts and some more revs because I cannot get enough of these engine sounds. Yuri, you first.
I barely have enough balls to get all the way to redline in this thing because it's so deep and so satisfying. It's almost like a GT3 level of enjoyment.
And downshift. Holy crap, this sounds so good. It's just, it has this muscly, deep tone that just, it gives you feeling like I feel something between my legs right now.
That Mustang is one of the few times this year that I've actually really felt something while driving a car.
The first time that I drove it, when I picked it up at Legendary this morning, I actually had tears in my eyes the first time that I floored it. Okay. I teared up driving this a little bit. Holy crap. I don't know if it's from the fumes or from the experience, but wow. Looking at this tack, getting it to near 6,000 RPM, the more you stay in it, the better it sounds.
Yeah, it sounds so much better than I thought it would, and I actually didn't know that an old Mustang like that would drive as well as it did.
Yeah, because let's talk about how these drive. This 1965 actually drives incredibly well. And sorry if we're yelling throughout this entire video, the windows are down, these cars are just really loud. This car has a full frame-off restoration, rotisserie restoration. Every nut and bolt has been replaced. This thing drives like it's brand new in 1965.
And this thing drives like a total sports car, no muscle car, nothing like a pig or anything. It is very, very precise. You've got different sport modes. You've got modes for your steering and suspension. The only thing this doesn't have that the Mach 1 had is auto rev matching.
Yeah, that's interesting.
And this only comes in manual, and it's got a 6-speed Tremec, but you've got a 4-speed.
Yeah, this 4-speed, I did not expect to like it as much as I do. I don't have to shift much. I feel like I'm always in the right gear. The gears are really long, and I just love hearing the full range of the RPMs.
There's always so much power, and if we were going next to each other, every time I shift, you would just keep going because you have all that power. You don't have to shift any gears.
Yeah, dude, this is sick.
But manual transmission-wise, pedal placement, heel toe downshifting, super easy in this. That thing is just like a whole different classic car animal that we don't fully understand.
And these are both road-going race cars, essentially. And this thing, this 1965, is so old-school race car. It's got a Detroit locker, so at low speeds, you can kind of hear the tires chirping because it almost feels like it's like a welded differential. And yours being the R, you actually have lightweight wheels. You have carbon fiber wheels, but they are painted black.
And then you've got the larger 15-inch wheels. Yeah, that's right, larger 15-inch. And the way they sit on that body, I'm surprised they don't rub in any way at all.
And the 1965 has disc brakes in the front, basically a race car.
Yeah, and this has disc brakes all around, obviously, because it's full normal real race car, and your braking kind of totally sucks compared to this.
Yeah, totally. And yours, being the R, is about 130 pounds lighter than the regular GT350. Most of that is actually lost through the carbon fiber wheels.
And you've actually got a fiberglass hood in the old one, and no latch for the hood pins to actually make it much lighter.
Yeah, and let's talk about how these engine bays look, because this 1965 is dead sexy. Look at all this chrome.
I love seeing the big air filter for the carburetor, and you've actually got a real hood scoop to get air down there. And then this one does have the signature of a guy who assembled it, where yours should have 90,000 Shelby signatures, but for some reason I can't find any.
Yeah, not sure what happened there.
Should we switch the cars up, talk about more similarities and differences?
We definitely should, but Yuri, one last downshift in this car. I'm gonna miss it. My God.
Legit shocked that you can keep up with this pretty well.
I know, like for only having 306 horsepower, I don't really have all the weight that you do.
For 55 years later, that's kind of crazy.
And the overall vibe of driving this, I am getting non-stop thumbs up in the 1965. Everyone loves and respects the hell out of this thing. I don't think anyone's even looked at you.
Only the guy with that red GT Mustang who drove by, but his eyes probably caught your car first.
Yeah, but I mean, I'm looking at that thing because I can hear it. I think anyone that can hear that will be looking at that.
This is for people who know what's up, and that's for everybody.
Everybody that can't afford it but can just look at this.
It's art on the road for the masses to enjoy.
Damn, Shelby. All right, I'm gonna hop in the new one.
Much more room in here, big thin steering wheel, and I've got this lap race belt only. Let me just click that into place. Good to go.
Getting into this one. Oh, you got air conditioning? Holy crap, this is luxury in here. Oh wow, normal seatbelt. I can adjust my steering wheel. Jeez.
You've got Recaros, and I don't have headrests.
Yeah, yeah.
And then we both don't have back seats.
Yeah, because race car, obviously.
All right, I'm gonna start this bad boy up. Oh. I got the 4-speed and my shifter is like all the way down. This is way cooler.
Is that an erection I see?
No, you can't see it because it's so small, but it is erect.
All right, let's go. Oh!
Okay, yours sounds like straight up insanity from the outside.
Yeah, my God, and from the inside? Oh, I am also erect.
All right, I had to do it to him. Oh my God.
Ridiculous, Yuri.
These are 100% tied on sound. But what's the decibel rating from the outside?
From the outside. This is America.
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 Oh, I'm sorry. I thought this was America. So let's get into the looks. What's different and what stayed the same over all these years?
Well, if you got the Heritage Edition of this, you can get it to actually look basically identical to the 1965.
I personally love the Shelby stripes on Shelbys. I love Shelby stripes all the time. I would never get a Shelby without Shelby stripes.
The reason he's saying that is because he's lying, because in one of our first videos, Shelby versus F-150 Raptor, he said he didn't even care about Shelby stripes, whereas I love them.
I don't like Shelby stripes one bit.
How?
Different strokes for different folks. What a dumb idiot I was back then. I gotta do an upshift from first to second, so let me do one of those quick. God, shifting this from first to second feels so amazing. Okay, so both front ends still look like Shelbys. The front end of that Shelby GT350, the new one's got a lot more aero and everything because of the R version.
Yeah, I mean, it's totally wild. It looks way more aggressive than that one. That one, driving it and listening to it, it does not look the way it sounds.
And from the side view, they still both look like pony cars, but this one doesn't have the back 3/4 window.
And then we do have GT350 badges on both, but they're totally different.
Yeah, it sucks not having that stripe at the bottom, which you could only get on the Heritage Edition on the new one. But what's funny is that the body line has totally reversed over 55 years. It's the same line, just mirrored.
I didn't notice that until you pointed it out. That's hilarious. And these wheels look amazing on this Shelby. They look so aggressive, especially because I know they're carbon fiber.
And they're so frigging wide compared to how narrow the ones are on this old one. I'm surprised this still has traction.
And the recommended Continental tire would be the new Continental Extreme Contact Force.
How about the back ends, the taillights, the spoilers? What do we got going on?
That's where we have even more similarities. We have the tri-bar taillights.
But there's no spoiler on this old one, but you got a nice little wing there.
Yeah, that big wing looks amazing. I can see it in my rearview mirror. I love it.
And I love the way your exhaust tips look at the back of that new one, but side exhaust is just like unstoppable.
There's something about side exhaust, and if you look underneath, you can see that there's basically only a resonator, so it's kind of even straight pipe, sort of.
So looks-wise, which one would you like the looks of more?
Okay, strictly looks-wise, I do like the new one more.
I think they are perfect for their time period.
So now some driving, since I'm in the new Shelby GT350. This transmission, this Tremec, is just as good, if not better, than it was in the Mach 1. Like, it just feels like butter.
But the combination with that motor makes it pure perfection. This 4-speed, having it down low, feels so friggin' cool. Like, just like low shifting, I feel like I'm a movie star.
Yeah, I totally get that. And the steering wheel in this new one, we got Alcantara, we got a red stripe on the top, which is always a good time, and I got a Cobra in the middle, which you do as well.
I got a Cobra too, it's so sick, but no horn that I can tell, and I got a wooden steering wheel, which is pretty wild actually.
And in the new one, I've got an oil pressure and an oil temperature gauge.
Hey, I got oil pressure, RPM up here, and my temp down a little bit lower.
Okay, I also have RPM as well, and my speedometer.
And then you got some fancy carbon fiber in the new one, where I've just got normal black materials everywhere in the old one.
Yeah, and it's really nice to see my numbered chassis plaque up on the dash. These Recaro seats are so well bolstered, they look amazing. Yours, very comfortable, zero bolstering, zero headrests.
Yeah, I kind of like the old schoolness of all of it.
And quickly on the infotainment in the new one, we do have one, but you can actually delete it. You don't have to get air conditioning either, and you already don't have any of that stuff.
Yeah, weight savings, but it would be nice to have Apple CarPlay like that old Targa had their old Porsche thing, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I guess, but like, you just drive that car, you put your elbow in the window just like you're doing right now. Yeah.
How about the visors?
Ooh, let's find out. Careful.
3, 2, 1, nothing.
Yes, full pass on this one.
But I do have a pretty big visor, so I would give that a classic car pass, that it actually moves.
And the actual starting instructions from Ford, there's actually a label for that visor. It's actually hilarious. So now let's talk about some suspension. These being their race versions, they're actually very comfortable. I didn't expect the R to be so comfortable. We do have MagneRide in here, which is probably why, and it is adaptable and adjustable.
That new GT350R is so dailyable, and even like noise levels inside, you could totally get away with having that as a family car, where this is just like not that uncomfortable, but way too loud inside.
I mean, if your family was one other person, because there's no back seats in here, then yes. But yours is actually really comfortable, probably because it has a full rotisserie restoration that like everything is new.
But you can option a back seat for that one, and then this one in 1966, which Gary showed in his video, did have a back seat.
Yeah, because in 1966, they kind of toned it down, made it slightly less race car, so you kind of have to get a 65.
Literally go to Gary's videos on Legendary Motorcar and watch him talk all about it. Roundabout handling test. Gotta hit the gym, get those muscles going. Oh yeah.
I think I win this one, Yuri. Oh, 8200, see you later.
Oh.
So that's pretty much it for both of these. Probably our favorite day of the year, driving the coolest cars that we have driven all year together at the same time.
I legit am so happy that I almost want to pivot our channel to just driving cooler cars instead of newer, boring cars sometimes. You know what I mean? Like,
and we had to put this review down because the 1965 GT350 is the first Mustang that Carroll Shelby tuned, so it makes it extra special, so we got to put that down on video.
And you're a Mustang owner.
Yeah, I do have a Fox body. Updates coming on that soon.
So ending this off with which one would you take is kind of stupid, since one of them is $400,000 more than the other one. But if you are interested in getting either of them, you definitely should, because these are so cool.
And I'm gonna end it off by saying that yes, even though it's a bit of a stupid question, I actually thought I would pick the new one going into this, but I am picking the old one after driving both.
Yeah, if I could just take the keys to one of them for the day, it would obviously be this one. But if you're looking to get your own Mustang, click the TrueCar link in the description below if you live in the United States. If you're in Toronto, visit Young Steele's Ford Lincoln. You can get their Heritage GT350 from their private collection, or check out all their other Ford products.
And if you're interested in buying that old GT350, hit up Legendary Motorcar or check out some of their other inventory and let us know what you guys want us to drive from their amazing collection next.
And if you like watching these pretty crazy comparisons, we did a GTR versus GTR, we did a Shelby versus Raptor. Subscribe and share these videos with your Mustang, Camaro, Shelby, Ford, Chevrolet friends.
Yeah, especially your Camaro friends, because they're gonna get a little upset that we did this amazing comparison with a pair of Mustangs.